the longer you run from your negative emotions, the longer it's going to take you to heal from your past. There's no other way. Now, most of us have learned to run from our emotions, right? This might have not been something blatant that we learned as kids, but it's something that we witness in the people around us. More times than not, the people around us were running from their own emotions, evading their own negative emotions, looking for ways to escape those negative emotions. So most of the time, it was probably through some external activity, whether it was getting into these relationships, toxic relationship after toxic relationship, or shopaholicism, or alcoholism, or some type of drug addiction, or some type of infatuation and obsession with something that would distract them from those negative emotions. And so we picked up the habit of running from those emotions as opposed to allowing them to serve their true purpose as indicators of what's going on within us. This is what I mean. Your emotions, whether negative or positive, are nothing more than notifications on a phone, right? That's an analogy, not literal. So when you get a notification from your messenger, what does that mean? It means you have a message and you have a choice whether or not to go check that message. You get a notification from Instagram. What does that mean? It means you're probably supposed to turn your phone off, put it somewhere else, and go spend some time in solitude. Okay, no. It means there's something going on Instagram and you can make a decision to check it or not. Now, the difference with negative and positive emotions is when you have a negative emotion, it's essentially an indicator that there is something wrong in that phone. There's something taking place that needs your attention. So the emotion itself is nothing more than an alert. It's letting you know, hey, buddy, hey, sis, bruh, there's something going on over here. Make sure to check this out. And the longer you decide to neglect that, to suppress that, to ignore that message, the worse things are going to get. So still using this analogy of the phone, if I got a 911 alert that something was going on wrong with the hardware of my phone and I ignore it and I ignore it again and I ignore it again, what's going to happen is the problem's going to get progressively worse and worse until it becomes a true problem where the phone maybe no longer works the same way or it no longer works at all. And now I'm going to recognize that something is wrong. And this is what happens to us. When we neglect or ignore those emotional responses, those indicators of emotions that are trying to tell us what is in our thought process, then we find ourselves finally in a state of dis-ease, of illness, etc. And now we're trying to figure out, how on earth did I get here? And we start making up these elaborate reasons as to why we get these ailments, right? Oh, it's this bug, it's the Zika bug, it's the this, it's the that. Oh, it's the, whatever new name that we put on whatever new condition. When in reality, this is the toxic overload that happens when you continue to ignore those internal problems. And when I say internal problems, I'm not talking about like physical, let's say tangible, right? Touchable. Yes, there's chemistry obviously involved, etc., but it's really deeper than that. It's in your thought process. When you are engaged in negative thoughts continuously, they're going to have a response within the body that's called an emotion that is basically letting us know what's going on in our thought process. So fear, when you're in a state of fear, fight or flight, right? Fight, flight, freeze. You feel your body tense up, or you feel your body start to pump that adrenaline, that cortisol, that allows you to run from whatever threat it is. And so you got toxins running through your body now. That was all conjured by your thought process because you had a perception that you are in danger. And most of us are living in this state of perpetual feeling of danger, a feeling of fear, right? From every little thing that's going on in our environment. And we're not even checking the system to say, wait, something's off here. I need to do something about this. Most of us are running from it or feeling as if we're a victim to it, right? We've bought into the programming that we have no power over our minds, over our emotions, that we have no power over our lives. And so when we have that programming, we continue to just allow things to happen to us. We continue to be reactors in life as opposed to responsible, the ability to truly respond within our own lives. And so when it comes to becoming or finding yourself in a state of dis-ease, right? The lack of ease within your body. What has happened is pretty simple. It's straightforward. As a matter of fact, Dr. Gabor Mate is one of, I think I said his name right. I try to put the accent on it for anybody who might get it twisted out there, like I ain't speaking different languages or something. Dr. Gabor Mate is an individual who is breaking from this Western idea of medicine, that medicine is about the body and the mind is separate from the body, and therefore you must treat the body separate and as its own entity. And instead, he's bringing an integrity to it, right? Now, he's one of many, but he's one of the spokespeople who's brave enough to say this, especially from the world of medicine. He's saying that we are looking to attack the body, or we're looking to solve and fix the body, but not even factoring in that the mind is connected directly to the body. That the mind, the will, and the emotion are actually one and the same, right? The soul is holistic. We are not separate from. Therefore, once we start to look at this proper perspective of life, we start to realize the importance of our emotional body. And then we start to realize the power of our thoughts, the power of our mind, the still undiscovered treasure that is our mind, the creator of our very own existence. Now, you may still be somebody who's in that space where you think that things are just happening to you, right? Life is just happening to me. I'm just a victim to a circumstance. You don't understand my story, Aquarius. You don't know the things that I've been through, the people that have done things to me, the person that did this and did that. And I'm going to tell you this. The only reason you're able to even bring up those stories and conjure those stories is because you still have it in your mind, in your thought process. That story is now existing in your mental and emotional body. It's existing within you still, even though it already happened. But there is a way to overcome that. There is a way where you can step out of that state and truly break that habit of being yourself. Shout out to Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Put some respect on that man's name. Dr. Joe Dispenza is one of the foremost individuals when it comes to truly understanding how to break this habit of being our old identity, right? Breaking free from that past trauma, that past programming, whatever it may be and however deep it may be. I mean, people are getting healed of all kinds of things, thousands upon thousands of people getting healed from chronic diseases, etc., simply because they are following the natural process of life, which is mind, body, emotion. All of it is one. We are whole beings. We are integrated. And so it's not just something happening to the leg, or it's not just something happening to the arm or happening to the breast. It's something that is taking place within the being of the person that is not being addressed. And so this is so key and so vital for us to understand when we're stepping into healthier, joyful, peaceful, more transcendent lives, the lives that we truly desire for ourselves and the people that we love most, the people around us. Because when we become that example of health, when we become that example of vibrance, of life, of more life and more life and more life, then we start to be that for the people around us instead of being a broken individual trying to fix everybody else. How are you going to fix somebody when you're broken into pieces? What are you going to do for somebody else? Right? I love this. Abraham Hicks was the first I heard it from. She said, you can't get sick enough to help sick people get well. You can't get broke enough to help broke people get rich. And you can't help depressed people. You can't get depressed enough to help depressed people get happy. You have to become the example of that thing. And the only way you can is by breaking that habit of being yourself, which is a book that I'm going to highly recommend to you. Yes, I'm going to shill it off on you. Yes, I'm selling it to you through the affiliate link that's going to be in my description below. I don't know how much they pay. I don't know none of that. But I know you need to get your hands on that book immediately, because what it did for me is a game changer. Like, there's 3 books I would recommend in my life to everybody that I know, and that is one of them. Right? The other one is Psycho-Cybernetics, but we'll get into that on another video. But I just wanted to really bring this deep level of awareness for you as far as what emotions are, and that in order for us to truly step into that transcendent place, we need to first break that habit that we have to the addiction of, certain emotions, or hiding from certain emotions, suppressing certain emotions, and start facing them and realizing they're here as helpers, they're here as teachers, they're here to help us break free from whatever it is that once had us before, right? Or we gave ourselves to, we gave our power over to. So if you're somebody who is truly within this part of your healing journey, you have made a commitment that it is no longer going to be enough for you to stay in the cycle, but you're breaking free from that pattern. Make sure to book a consultation call with me immediately. You can do that by going into the description below, click on the Calendly link. Let's book a time. And if we're a perfect match for each other, we can really move forward, and I can get you into my program immediately. And we can start to truly solve this problem right here, right now. We don't have to wait till tomorrow. We don't have to wait till next year, next whatever. Oh, wait till the kids get out the house, or wait till I'm out the house. No. We got to solve this right now so you can truly have that life that you desire.